Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. September 9th, 2021. Can you believe it? This is Most Things Hypnosis right here on the CentralValleyTalk.com network, if you will. I am Ilah Brock. I am your host. So, and thank you so much. A lot of you you're texting me or chiming in. I have a fan club. I mean, it may only be 10 of you, but that's okay. I'm waiting for the 10,000. It'll happen. Maybe today. Who knows? But anyway, I'm excited. Just let this go viral, everybody. Let it go viral. All right. So this is show number 9. I'm just going to keep counting them because on the 100th show, I've got something special planned. I don't know why, but soon. But I wanted to let you know, first of all, today's guest, oh, this is so cool. We have the privilege to have this amazing lady join us. She was trying to get in the studio, but there was some issues on the highway, so she's actually going to let us know where where her feed is coming from. So I don't even know where she is. I don't even know if she knows, but she stopped, got linked up, and she's just waiting to come on the show in just a minute. She is an advanced emotional freedom technique practitioner, and I will be introducing her in just a moment. But first, as my becoming my custom as usual, something from me. Today's tidbit. This is actually on my website at ilahbrock.com. Let me just read this like how I wrote it. You may say something positive, or you might be explaining something really good to somebody, and you're just following it along. You're just a wonderful time you're having, or whatever, and then you follow it with this little word, but. It's like, what's that for? What it does is it cancels out everything you've just said. So think about it. You've just canceled out what you've just said. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. Today I was at the store and I found this amazing deal on this outfit, 60% off. And then when I got to the register, I got another 25% off, and then another $25 off of that. Really, I got this $500 outfit for like $12. You know, it's kind of like so exciting. What a great deal. But, see what I just did there? Everything I just said was so fun. And then you add the but. Now people are focused on the negative thing you're about to say. Then the checker was rude to me, and the gal behind them was groaning, and blah, blah, blah. So all I'm saying is, how about this one? I was able to help this client today with their situation, and they were so happy. They left my office happy, and they did some kind of a grumpy little bitchy thing. And anytime you put that word but in there, it's just a negative connotation. So instead of but, just stop. Great time. I got a great deal. Period. The checker was a little rude to me, or you don't have to mention that at all. Stay on the positive and forget the negative, because the negative, there's always going to be something negative every which way. So just let it go. And just see what happens if you don't say that little word but, because it's usually something negative afterwards. So here's a suggestion. So immediately when you hear something or someone do it, or you find yourself doing it, take a step back. Look at the positive and asking that open-ended question. You can change their energy from the good to the bad. So somebody does that, but now they're all negative. Just try this little trick on them. Just maybe come back with a positive, and they'll dismiss that negative word and what you said. You can something like, wow, that was such a good, even though they said that was a rude checker, that was such a good deal. That was a really, just ignore what all the negative that they said. And they have no choice but to focus on what you're saying now, even though they may want to focus on the negative, because everybody loves their misery. Even though we don't want to be in it, we love it anyway, because if we didn't love it, we wouldn't have it. Then that's a kind of an oxymoron almost to some. So don't try to explain it. It's just a kind of a nerdy way to look at things, okay? Don't even go for the argument. Oh, and what is an open-ended question? Questions that start with the word what or how. Because if you ask a question, do you, and then you follow it up, the answer is typically yes or no. So why not? And you want to get more out of somebody than just yes or no? Ask them an open-ended question. You just Google it. What are some open-ended questions? and then just start practice those. If you want to get some more information, especially moms with and dads with children that are, especially teenagers, you want to get them to talk that don't talk, start asking them some open-ended questions. And that's something that you can just take with you and share it along. Okay, but all I'm saying now is just watch those butts. Okay, so now for my very, very special guest this week. Her name is Bianca West. I'm sorry, I have the fan on because it's a little warm with all these lights. It's kind of blowing my papers around. But, forgive me. Bianca West, or Bianca Z. West, is an honors graduate in the clinical hypnotherapy from the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, my alma mater as well, and has her private practice in Santa Barbara, California. Bianca is a certified hypnotherapist and an advanced emotional freedom technique practitioner. She is also certified in an advanced Ho'oponopono. She's going to teach us how to say that here in a minute. Bianca brings to her practice a combined 35 or more years, plus years, of experience in the holistic health care. Bianca is also an international coach, and she has worked to support her clients all over the globe. Welcome, Bianca. I'm so glad you got to be here today. I'm not in studio. I'm really bummed about that, but you're here because the show must go on, right? Thank you so much for being here. And I just want to get right started because I'm going to do a lot of talking. You'll be doing your lion's share in just a minute. First of all, how do you pronounce that? Hipponomonopo.
It's a Ho'oponopono. It's
Hippopono no.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'opono no.
And it's a wonderful Hawaiian ritual for forgiveness.
Oh.
It's so beautiful because it's actually very simple.
Oh.
We actually use it to help clear blocks.
Oh, cool.
Beliefs, because the goal is to say you had a white canvas full of all these negative beliefs. Well, our intention is we repeat the phrases, the mantras. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me.
Oh, wow.
I forgive myself. Thank you.
Oh.
We just keep repeating that. And before you know it, all of these negative limiting beliefs just start to dissipate, and then you're at zero with a clean slate.
Nice.
So what I actually love to do is I actually love just to say, I love you, 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 I love you. And you just feel your heart chakra vibrate and expand.
Yeah, and you don't have to like feel it at first.
Yeah.
You can just say it and the feeling will start to manifest.
Well, yeah. And the more you do it, you just, and it's such a beautiful mantra because you can be walking, and if you feel like the energy of something that's just interesting, it's actually your perceptions taking that in. I just automatically play it in the back of my head. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive myself. Thank you.
Oh, wow. We'll have to get into more of that in another show for sure. Today, you are a practitioner of EFT.
Yes.
And I want to get into the meat of what that is, emotional freedom technique. Okay, I am also an advanced practitioner, but I'm not talking about that today. I use it with my clients, but she's going to explain it, and you can learn it once and then do it at home, all that you want. Okay, so I just want you to briefly explain what it is, where does it come from, how it was developed, did it start in other countries? Give me some history behind it, what you know.
So basically, emotional freedom technique is what it is. It's a technique that works with our body's energy system. And so the electrical system, it has this subtle energy that runs through the body and is carried through the passageways called meridians.
Oh.
So it's the same meridians that they used in acupressure and acupuncture. I mean, it's the Chinese discovered this vital energy 5,000 years ago, and they call it qi.
Uh-huh.
And so this qi or energy, it just flows through every part of our body and is necessary for our life force. And so just as, blood flows through our veins, breath flows through our lungs, and food flows through our digestive tract, we have this required necessary energy that flows. And so what we're finding with emotional freedom technique and that particular energy system is that The energy system, it works with, it's associated with negative emotion. So they're finding that people that have negative emotion, it's the missing link when treating negative emotion. So if they have a distressing memory or thought, it ends up disrupting this energy system. And so when that happens, then people just basically carry on with the same negativity and they don't understand why. And so, for example, uh, this particular technique actually had an onset in 1980 by a Dr. Roger Callahan. He was actually a PhD psychologist. I knew him personally. And
Okay.
he had a patient, we'll call her Mary. She had a terrible, frightening fear of water. She would have nightmares, she would have headaches, she would get physically sick. She had been seen by all these different doctors and no one could help her. But Dr. Callahan, being more holistically minded and open, he had expanded onto the meridian system. And he just was with her one day and she had said, "Oh, my stomach hurts." And he just thought, stomach meridian. Come here, Mary. He had her tap on the stomach meridian.
Right.
And lo and behold, her stomach ache and her fear of water disappeared. She actually went out to a swimming pool and was able to like put water on her face without fear.
Wow.
And that was when he actually ended up writing his book, The 5-Minute Phobia Cure. So basically, with emotional freedom technique, it works on the theory that our unresolved negative emotions are major contributors to most physical pain, disease, and anxiety. And so it's the cause of all negative emotions, and it's a disruption to that body's energy. And as you know, our goal with our body is always to be at homeostasis,
Right.
always to be balanced. So you can look at this energy system that if it's blocked, like her stomach meridian was blocked, she had this fear. And so it didn't matter how many therapists she saw, whatever she did, it wasn't going to work until somebody came in and they tapped on that meridian to clear the block, to allow the flow of energy to flow. So you can think of it as your, at home, your bathroom sink gets plugged.
Uh-huh.
You can use a plunger, you can put Drano in there, but there's a bigger problem. Until the snake gets put in there, which is like the tapping on the meridian, it's not going to clear that debris for the flow of water to flow naturally. Does that make sense?
Yes. Makes perfect sense. Yes. Well, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. And so this is the cool thing. So then here, Dr. Callahan, he created this amazing technique. But he was only able to teach it to doctors. And so they ended up calling it thought field therapy.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Thought field therapy.
Thought
And the
field.
only reason
Okay.
why they could do that was because doctors diagnose. And so what happened was, then he had a student named Gary Craig. Yay for Gary Craig.
Yay for Gary. Yes, we like
He
Gary.
felt like, oh my gosh, this is such a marvelous technique that can help clear people's emotional pain and the blocks, that he thought, I'm going to create a way that I can bring it to the general public. And so he did, and that's where we got emotional freedom technique. It's
Awesome.
such an easy technique that even children can do it. People can do it anywhere, anytime, if they have anxiety or any emotions come up.
Wow, that's awesome. So children can do it too.
Yeah, kids
Wow.
actually that have anxiety in school, that have been taught it, they know to excuse themselves, and maybe they'll go into the bathroom or like the office or wherever at school, and they'll do their tapping to get cleared of their anxiety. And
Right.
so it's really helps you to be self-reliant and take care of yourself if you have, an emotional situation.
So should I just tap anywhere besides on my cheeks? Is there
Well, this
any?
is the
is there-
thing. The meridians run throughout the entire body.
Right.
And so when Gary Craig created the emotional technique, protocol, he actually made it simple. Instead of hundreds of meridians that we have, he narrowed it down to 10 meridians. Did you end up?
I did
getting-
not do the basic
worry
recipe.
about it.
So everybody, if you want the basic recipe to EFT, just send me an email and I will email it to you. Or get a hold of Bianca and she will email it to you. Okay, it's a simple recipe.
So basically, this recipe is really easy.
Two
Just like when
pages.
we bake bread, like you
Right.
made your delicious
Almond
almond
bread.
flour bread that I'll never forget with the 3 ingredients.
Five ingredients, but yeah.
5
it's-
ingredients.
Yeah,
excuse
no
me.
sugar. Yeah.
Well, like this one, this technique that has 5 ingredients. And so with the ingredients, they're very, very simple. And it's called the basic recipe. And as you can see, we have a human being here. And there are actually markers on the body
Uh-huh.
to indicate the meridian points we're going
Okay.
to tap on.
Tapping points.
So
Okay.
I have a question for you. Do you have anything that you need to be cleared on by chance?
Right now,
I mean, if not, it's okay because I can do a demo on myself.
well, we can demo me. Let's just demo me not to get ice cream today.
Oh.
Okay, I got a little piece of history about me. When I was 18, I started on the Miss America circuit. You have to do your local county. So I was in the Miss Lane County pageant, Nevada. And if you win, you get to go to state, and then state goes to national, right? So I did second runner up, but my talent, was my acting or whatever. And then you had to give a little bio of yourself. So I'm walking down the runway in this evening gown, or my swimsuit or whatever it was. And the MC's reading this little 3x5 card. And this was when I was 18, and that was a few years ago. So he's reading the 3x5 card, and the judges are right in front of me, and I've got my little cute little smile going, my little charm thing going. And, in Ilah's future, she's wanting to be an actress, and she's going to be going to college, and blah, blah. Oh, and she wanted to let you know that she does like ice cream. That was part of my bio. She does like ice cream. Yes, I do have an addiction to ice cream, although I don't eat it every day. But when it's in front of me or whatever, I will, it's like, keeping a tiger away from the steak.
Now, what's your favorite ice cream though?
Well, here's the thing. It's all cold. Cold is my favorite. Cold ice cream, okay? Just cold. Typically, I will get a blend of a soft serve, usually vanilla, with candy bars, like Reese's peanut butter cups in it. And then I'm like, it's like crack to me. So I just try my hardest to stay away. And those moments when I'm tempted, okay, I'll admit, like I was, last night. Anyway, yes, I got a Twister from Froster Freeze. Okay, so anyway.
That's okay though.
Yeah, I know, and I didn't beat myself up for it because I didn't realize my blood sugar had dropped, and that's why I was being so grumpy and irritable, and I was just in a really bad mood. And then I went and got myself a burger, and I got myself this ice cream, and I'm getting on the freeway, and I'm just taking a couple of bites of this ice cream, and it was about 5 minutes. Like, wow, I'm starting to feel better. Oh, it's the sugar. Oh, okay. So I started to feel better. I hadn't eaten all day. It was like 12 or 15 hours since I ate. So that was why I was feeling grumpy and irritable and like, interesting. So I should have just eaten protein. I would have been fine. But no, I had to go for the whole on ice cream sugar thing with the candy bar in it.
That's okay. That's okay. Now I have an interesting question. Do you get these cravings? Are they just random?
Very random. Usually when my blood sugar drops. But see, I don't associate that what was going on, that bitchy attitude sometimes I have, or that like the just a bad. I was just really frustrated because my recording equipment wasn't working right, and I was just in my beautiful Blue Yeti microphone was just the little connection thing was broke. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I've got to make this recording for this client. And I'm just really, my internet wasn't working. I was just like, blah, blah, right? All these little things were going on like within a half an hour. And it's like now it's pushing 5:30 and I'm just like really pissed off, you know? So I closed everything. I threw it in my backpack and I'm just going to go home because at least I have working internet at home and I'll just take care of it at home. And I stopped by the Foster Freeze and got my food. And I'm about 5 minutes away from my office is from where I live. So I'm like almost halfway home and I'm like, I feel better. Now, when I never let myself get like that upon occasion. I was so busy yesterday. I didn't even think about eating until that happened.
Right.
So it just, when that happens, I just go right into, you know, it's fight mode, not flight. I'm not fleeing anything. I'm going right for it.
Right. And you know, that's so funny because and the reason why I asked, because you know, when at HMI, when Susie did the EFT class, she does her chocolate demos.
Uh-huh.
And I was one of the demos.
Oh, cool. And how did you do?
I actually stopped eating chocolate and discovered that my emotional eating was curbed. Even under stress in the high performing job that I had, I could literally walk past. I didn't even have a desire for bagels and cream cheese and blah, 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 just from the EFT tapping.
That's all. No, I know that EFT has some beautiful merit, emotional healing and such like of that. I actually have a big, huge program that I'm working on right now. It's I'm not revealing it yet, but it does have to do with weight management. And it's going to be a 12-week program. I'm doing a pilot with a bunch of people right now on the side to see how it works, get the kinks out. So in January, I hope to make it public. Well, I'm pretty nervous about it because I have to get everything pretty much ready in the next week and a half. You know, I mean, I'm ready to go on this in the next week and a half, and I'm just like, there's a little procrastination because it is out of my comfort zone. So, and things are going well, but it's a little unnerving because I know it's going to be successful. But right now, I'm adding 10 more people to my schedule every week doing this pilot with these people, which are so gracious to help me out, you know, kind of thing. So I'm super excited about it, but that is a little unnerving for me. And I don't know if that's something we want to tap on. I don't want to get too personal because, you know, I want people to watch my show.
You're so funny. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, I do weight release and the emotional eating and craving, and I've seen clients get fabulous results.
Okay, so what about somebody who has trauma from their past? Let's just do a little role play. Let's say I'm the one that has, you know, I grew up in, you know, I know one. Money. Money's an issue. You know, you grow up poorer than Job's turkey, and no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get ahead. All you think about is that next dollar, and then you can't help it, but you got to spend it. It's already spent even before you get it, and then you're always hunting. You know, it's nervousness because you don't have it, but when you have it, you spend it. And it's like, because the homeostasis part of you is, let's take us back to the comfort zone of being broke all the time. That's where we are. And like, you know, the subconscious mind is going to protect what you know. What you know is poverty. So let's just protect poverty. It doesn't understand anything outside of that. So you get $10,000 and what are you going to do with it? Man, you're going to spend it. And in 2 days, it's gone, or 10 minutes, it's gone, you know, or whatever. So can you work with something like that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And
so let's
and that's why they say, you know, statistically, a lot of the professional athletes and people that win the lotto, they can millions of dollars, and then, you know, 10 years later, they're filing BK
Usually
bankruptcy.
it's a couple of years later for those that are winning the lottery, within a few years, isn't it? Like the books, that there's lots of books on those, but it's that homeostasis. So could EFT have helped them?
Absolutely, because it's what you do. Is what we do is we identify exactly the relationship with money, what
Okay.
they saw, and we just keep tapping on it. and tapping on it and tapping on it. And there's actually different, in the advanced emotional freedom technique, there's other techniques to help reverse it. Because what happens is we find is that people have what they call psychological reversals. And so, like, for example, a person who wants to lose weight, they say, oh, I want to lose weight. I'm so tired of being 150 pounds. I want to be 110. And everything they do, they end up doing self-sabotage.
Right.
So the first thing that we do, like with emotional freedom technique, and actually this was something.
Sorry, guys, we get a little technical. Go ahead. Got a little frozen. It's okay. We're gonna. It's fixing. She's there. She's talking.
In other ways.
Okay, wait. You're gonna have to repeat that. You need to repeat that because you froze. Hold on. You got to start over because you froze for about 30 seconds. Can you start again? I'm sorry.
Okay. So there is a technique, an emotional freedom technique that we can check to see. And if not even know for sure, we can do muscle testing is number one. Or number two, you could just automatically just start doing the karate chop point because there's a meridian here.
So you take
because
this,
that can help.
You take
it's
this
right here.
Part of your hand right here, the pinky part, and the other pinky
so
part.
Between the base of this finger and that part.
Right. This part.
There's a
this,
meridian
right.
right about.
And you're going to put them together. It's called the karate chop.
Marry them together and you just tap. And that can help to reverse if there is a psychological.
How long do you tap for?
Well, this is my thing. You just tap. Some people say, oh, just tap a couple of times. Just do it for like 15, 20, 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm going to do this for 30 seconds and then stop and then I'm reverse.
And then we can stop. But the thing is like that's to like try to cancel out if there's a psychological reversal. But like if you were here with me, or I could teach you how to do a muscle test, we can ask specific questions.
Okay.
Doing a muscle test, and your body knows your energy and your subconscious mind and has the ability to communicate with you whether or not you're speaking a truth or untruth about your conscious desire, if you will.
Okay. I like that.
So for example, if I said I wanted to lose, well, I only need to get down to 103 pounds now. So I actually have like, I don't know, 10 pounds more to go. But say, and I wanted to test to see if I was reversed on it. I could actually do a self-test where you take your fingers. So you put your middle finger and your thumb finger together.
The middle finger, okay.
And then you take your other hand and you put it through there.
Do I put my index or my middle finger? Are
they both? Put your forefinger and your thumb together.
First finger and thumb, and the other hand is middle finger and thumb.
And the right hand is going to be the one that you're going to check to see if it's a truth or untruth. You're not checking for strength. You're checking for truths or untruths.
Okay, so what do I do?
So, for example, as you can see my hand, do you see it? I'm going to say, like you're going to say, my name is Ilah, and you're going to pull with your, I think it's your right hand, and it's going to stay strong, and your fingers are going to stay basically locked together.
So if it's the truth, it'll say locked.
Yeah. So say my name is Ilah.
My name is Ilah.
Okay, and pull, and it's strong.
Right.
Now say my name is
Bianca. My name is Bianca. Oh, it wants to escape.
Now check and see.
It wants to escape. It didn't, but it wants to escape. Maybe in a past life.
There's like a weakness. So right there is the yes, that yes, your name is Ilah, you're speaking truth. And the no, this is where it goes weaken.
I am 30 years old. Oh.
And so like that. And so when it comes to the weight loss, you're going to do the same test. I want to lose my 10 pounds. And if it goes weak, you're going to know that right then and there, you're psychologically reversed on it.
Okay, so if I need to lose 100 pounds, if I
And
think I need to lose 100, but reality says, no, you only need to lose 70, but I'm going to go for 100. The 100 is, the 70 is the lie, the truth, and the 100 is the lie. So
Right.
I'm losing 100 pounds. Oh,
It
because
goes weak.
becomes like your body's going, you don't need to lose 100 pounds, but I
Right.
only need to lose 70 pounds. Oh, it doesn't want to escape. Okay, so
Exactly.
that's the truth. Okay, so maybe I only need to lose 70 pounds.
So that's how we can do self-truth also to see if we're psychologically reversed. And if we are, again, we can go back to the karate chop because no matter what, this is going to help to balance out energy.
So if I got a yes on both or a no on both, then I know that I'm not
Just
reversed.
do the karate chop because here's the thing. As taught in the EFT class, Susie had given an example of a client that literally
Hold
was the
on,
most
hold on just a second. She keeps referring to Susie. Her name is Susie Kappas, and she is the director for America's Hypnosis Association, and she is also the master trainer at Hypnosis Motivational Institute (HMI) for advanced training in advanced emotional freedom technique practitioners. So, okay, go on. So when we refer to Susie,
And
that's
so
what she
she gave
means.
the example of a client that was just negative about everything. And so all she can think of is give her the assignment, homework when she goes home, that we'll call her Mary too. During the day, when you remember Mary, like when you wake up in the morning, maybe you're in the bathroom, you're right before you start having tea or whatever it is you do, you're at a stop sign, even if it's 10 times a day for 20 seconds, don't even have to think about anything.
Just do this.
Do the karate chop. Do that every day, 10 times a day.
For
But
20
when she came
seconds.
back a week later, the woman, Susie asked her, how was your week? The woman had no complaints. Everything went fine. It was great.
Wow.
That's the power of balancing the energy, balancing the vital force, balancing the chi
Nice.
by tapping on it.
Tapping. Okay, we're gonna
So
balance it. So that's how you. Okay, so
that's how we can
everybody
correct
just
the switching or the psychological reversal. Now,
okay.
for the basic, I want to be able to share with people so that they have something that if they are having anxiety
Yeah,
or
don't
like
forget
your
to email me or Bianca for
with
it.
the ice cream, like if you like you are, is that what you want to use?
I really want to hate ice cream. I do. I want to hate it
Do you just not want to eat some for a while?
forever. I
Okay.
never want to eat ice cream. I really, my conscious mind, my little 12% brain says, you don't. It doesn't serve you, Ilah. You don't need it. I want it. If it comes in front of me, I want to just like have a whatever. But when I see it, like, oh, you did not bring that home, did you?
See, that's where I would love to have some ice cream here and you try it.
Right.
And then we do this and then we try serving it to you again because that's how
Okay.
we did it with
You know
the
what?
chocolate.
What I could do is we can do this off camera at another time together, videotape it, and then I'll put it on my website and you can put it on your website,
Okay,
and then I'll
perfect.
make an announcement of it, blah blah blah.
Okay.
And at some point, so we can probably work on that in the near
Excellent.
future.
But let's go through the process of
We'll do
what.
the process. Okay, we're gonna do like a role play pretend. Okay.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna throw something out there. You know, I'm afraid of pens. I don't like pens. It's scaring the shit out of me. I don't like pens. I don't
okay,
like
so we're
pens.
going to help you with your fear of pens. So
Thank you.
with the basic recipe in EFT, the first thing we do is we identify the problem, and it is that you have a fear of pens. When did this fear start? Was there a particular incident at the time that triggered it?
You know, I think it was in fifth grade, maybe. You know, we were just starting to use a pen and not a pencil, and it was just very. I got ridiculed a lot about my writing. I was made
So,
fun of.
so you got made fun of with using the pen?
With my writing, and it only started when I used my pen. Okay, folks, I'm just making all this up, so it's not for real. Anyway, yeah, just when I just started. A teacher gave everybody a pen, and I just, That's what I think. I think that's when it started. Right when I started using the pen, I decided, you know what, pens are just bad. Pens just, they scare me to be. I know that we need them for permanent, like writing a check. It takes a lot of me to just get in there and write that check if I have to write it. I know I'm old school. I use a pencil a lot.
Oh my gosh. And do you use pens now?
Well, I have to some. You know, I do know pens are faster, so it just takes a lot of whatever. Like I have a pen sitting right here because I didn't have a pencil on me. So I
Right.
know I have to take notes sometimes if I have a question I want to ask you. It's sitting here. It's not in my hand. I'm just having it sit here. And, you know, I've got to pick it up, and it's a really good pen. And I'm just, you know,
It's
I
freezing.
prefer pencils.
Shoot.
Help me. Help me. Okay, so what do I do? Are you frozen again? Oh, Bianca, you froze again. Okay, folks, I'm so sorry about the technical stuff. I think she's at a hotel in the middle of nowhere and trying to, do this. So if we lose connection, I'll just continue and we'll work on it. So have you come back to us yet, Bianca? If we have, just let me know. And meanwhile, basically, she's going to talk about getting a scale of 0 to 10. So we're going to get my fear of the pen if we're using this as an example. Are you back? Are you back again? Hello? Hi. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Hello, hello. Oh, we've lost her still. Okay, well she's working on it. We'll get it. We'll get her back. Meanwhile, we get a SUD scale, the subjective unit. I forgot what the D stands for, but we're just going to get some sort of subjective unit determination on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the absolute worst. This pen's going to kill me. To 0, it's like it doesn't have any problem with me at all. Where are you at on this? Are you with me? Are you back again?
Yes.
Okay, because we lost you, and I was just going ahead.
What's your intensity?
Huh?
What's your intensity for the fear of
Oh,
that
that's what
trauma?
we're going for, the intensity. I was just talking about that. They didn't know if we were going to get you back. So my intensity for this, no, we're going back to the fake story. Okay. My intensity is probably a 7.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I'm writing that down. It's a 7. So we're gonna start with the basic recipe. Step number 1, first ingredient, which is the setup. Now, with the setup on our body, we have these points on our pectoralis, and you're gonna take your fingers, a couple of fingers, and you're going to just palpate here in your chest area. I usually
I
use
got the itchy. Something's in the room.
I usually feel around like for there's a
Tenderness?
tender area. Did you find the tender
Is
area?
it tenderness?
Did you find it?
Yeah, I got tenderness. Yeah, right here.
Perfect. So what you're going to do is we're going to, in a circular motion, we're going to rub these tender spots because we want to activate these, stimulate these meridians. And we're going to say what we call a setup statement 3 times. I'm just going to say it first so then you know what to expect. So it's going to be something like this. Even though I have this fear of pens from when I was in elementary school, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, some people are uncomfortable with saying love, so you can use honor in place of it.
Okay.
So together, if it's okay with you, you can repeat after me. Even though I have this fear of pens from my experience in elementary school,
Even though I have this fear of pens from elementary school,
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
Even though I have this fear of pens because I was made fun of in elementary school when I started using the pen, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself.
Even though I had this fear of pens when I was in elementary school, I deeply and completely love, honor, and
Accept myself.
accept myself.
Even though I have this fear of pens from elementary school, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I had this fear of pens from elementary school, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Oh, you're so cute. Now, after that, we just finished the setup. That's number one. Now we're going to go on to number two of the 5 ingredients. Number two is called the sequence. And what we do is we actually use the statement, what it is your issue is, which is my fear of pens from elementary school. So you're going to take your fingers, like 2 fingers, and you're going to tap on the 10 different meridians. And we're going to start with the first one. And the first one actually is located at your eyebrow. So we have an eyebrow that starts in this above our nose. It's in the middle of our face. That's location number one for the first meridian we're going to tap. And we're going to say the statement, my fear, and tap at the same time, my fear of pens since elementary school.
My fear of pens since elementary school.
I have this fear of pens from my experience in elementary
I
school.
have this fear of pens from my experience in elementary school.
Now we're going to move to location number 2, which is to the outside of that eyebrow. And we're going to say, my fear of pens.
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 Now we're going to move to the third location, which is actually located directly under your eye, right there, right under your pupil, and there's a bony round area. And it's important that we're in that bowl of the orbital bone, and you're going to tap. If you can just move your 2 fingers more under
I got
the
3 of
eye,
them going at the same time.
like directly under your pupil and closer in the hollow of it, and you're going to tap there, my fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
I have this fear of pens since I was a child.
I've had this fear of pens since I was a child.
Now we're going to move to location number 4, and it's located under your nose and above your lip in that indentation. And you're going to repeat, my fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
Oh, I wish I didn't have that experience in elementary school.
I wish I didn't have that experience in elementary school.
It created a fear of pens.
That created a fear of pens.
Now we're going to move to number 5. And we're going to go, it's located directly under your lip in the center. And we're going to repeat again, my fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
I have a fear of pens.
I have a fear of pens.
Now we're going to move down to location number 6. And this is an easy one, but it's really an important one because, again, it's the meridian points that can be associated with switching or being reversed. So what it is you have your collarbone, feel your collarbone, and just with both hands, I like to use both hands on this. Take your fingers so they travel to the knobs on the end of your finger, of your collarbone in the center there. You feel the knobs, and you're going to tap there with both fingers on both sides, both knobs. I have this fear of pens since I was in elementary school.
I had this fear of pens since I was in elementary school.
It was when I started using them, I just became fearful because the way I was writing, I got made fun of.
So I started using them. I mean, the way I was writing, I was made fun of.
That's why I have my fear of pens.
That's why I have this fear of pens.
Okay, now we're going to move to location number 7. Now, location number 7 is actually located on the side. So where you're like on the side of your body, right there where your hand is. And it's like where it runs, it's right like where your bra strap would be. You just put your hand there and you just start tapping. And just talk about my fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
I have this fear of pens since I was a child.
I had this fear of pens since I was a child.
My fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
Now, the next point that I'm going to show you, which I have noticed on a lot of YouTube videos, people don't use it, and I don't know why, because we actually have it as a location. And the reason why it's so important, because it's actually liver 14, the meridian point. and it's literally located like where your breast is. Like if you were like your nipples here, you go directly underneath, and you're going to actually feel tenderness there maybe. So you're going to want to find the tender spot, and you're going to want to definitely tap that area, because that's very important, because it releases anger, resentments, different things, types of emotion that we hold on to. And that is location number 8, and it's that liver meridian, which is associated with liver, anger, and resentment, things like that people hold on to.
Okay.
It's going to be my fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
I'm wanting to release this fear of pens, that trauma from being in elementary school.
I want to release the fear of pens and trauma from elementary school.
Now we're going to go to location number 9, which is actually located on our wrists on both sides. And there's actually a meridian on the right middle side. And we're going to actually just knock these together and talk about my fear of pens. I want to get over these fear of pens because
I want to get over this fear of pens.
I can use them as an adult, but it was just that trauma from a child.
I can use them as an adult, but that trauma when I was a child.
That fear of pens.
That fear of pens.
Now we're going to go to the last location. It's actually the top of our head. And we're going to tap up there, just up and down. It's in the center. It's our sagittal suture area. And it's going to be my fear of pens since I was a child.
My fear of pens since I was a child.
My fear of pens.
My fear of pens.
Now, I'm going to reassess. Step number 3 is to reassess your intensity level and ask you, what is your intensity level? You were at an 8. Where are you now?
I was at an 8. Oh, I'm probably at a 3 now.
You're now at a 3. Okay. So, so with that is what we can do is we can just continue. We can do another round and just bring it down a little bit.
I'd love to, but we're kind of pressed for time. So basically, we'll just walk through it instead of actually do it just because of time.
So basically, is what we would do is we would do another couple of rounds, reassess the situation. Once you're down to about a 0 or a 1, there is another point. It's called in procedure called the 9 gamut. The reason why I recommend doing it consistently, even though they say it's optionally, is because you're fine tuning the brain. And the way that it's done is there is a meridian point right here between the knuckles of your ring finger and your little finger. And we just simply start tapping on that. And we think about the situation. And the instructions are for you to look straight ahead. Close your eyes, open, look sharp right down with your eyes, look straight ahead, look sharp left down, look straight ahead, do an eye roll clockwise, do another eye roll counterclockwise, and then hum the birthday for 2 seconds. And then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then perfect. Now you can stop. Now, what do you rate yourself at?
Probably a 1.
Okay, perfect. And so then what we would do is just finish up one more round of the sequence, and then there you have it. And that is the 5
the 5
steps.
The
basic recipe of emotional freedom technique. And of course, it's beyond that, that we use other techniques for people that are really stuck, like with weight loss and traumas and things like that.
Okay, so we have a couple minutes left. I wanted to ask you, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you for having me.
I'm not done yet. You still have some, you're still going to get some talking here. What other modalities do you offer your clients, and how can someone contact you?
Okay, so I am a certified hypnotherapist and EFT practitioner. The other modalities that I'm certified in are neurolinguistic programming, Reiki, Ho'oponopono. I am a therapeutic imagery master. I love to incorporate imagery into my sessions with clients. I do Reiki and I'm an intuitive healer. And I did go through the weight loss program, so I'm proud to be able to offer that to my clients. I actually specialized in helping people with weight loss and, or I should say, weight release and overcoming emotional cravings and food. Sorry, and with the background noise. And then the other thing, sorry, the other thing that I do, sorry,
That's
everybody.
okay. I know you're in a precarious situation because you got stuck
Yeah,
trying
I
to
was
get
gonna be
here.
in studio, but I found a subway and they're being gracious and letting me do this live. Okay, so anyway, so that's my specialty is with that, and then I also specialize in helping women only to basically take back their power after to reactivating their power within after coming out of a narcissistic abusive relationship.
Okay.
And I also like to work with high performing people that want to go to the next level because my background is working with entrepreneurs. And I was in a position where I had to at one point be a high performing uh, person and endure through all circumstances. Like today, we had a situation. I'm in the middle of nowhere, cowland, looking at cows and goats and compost, and I'm like, I got to turn around and go back to that building because I'm not going to make it to another one. And here we are,
Here
right?
we are. That's
So
right. And some
I,
people
I
would
do,
have got bent out of shape over it.
huh?
Some people would have gotten bent out of shape over it.
Yeah, and we just rolled with it, right?
Yeah.
And I bring to them about the love, about the law of attraction. Everything is energy. Because of my background, which I'm profoundly grateful for. I've worked with like one of the leaders in applied or in the law of attraction, Dr. Joe Vitale. I was on his miracles coaching team. And so I feel very blessed to be able to share with my clients what I've learned. And
Okay.
I'm all about basically mindset, energy balancing, clearing your emotional childhood and
Right.
adulthood wounds so that you can become whole with self-love and then following divine inspiration.
And how can people find you?
People can find me. I have a website. It's being reconstructed, but it is active. It's biancazwest.com. My office is in Santa Barbara, but you'll have to contact me via phone for that location. I do Zoom globally, and my phone number isn't a Utah phone number, but I am here in California. It's area code 801-836-4230.
And where are you located in California? Your office?
I'm in Santa Barbara,
California.
California.
That's like in the central, going towards
So
the.
it's central California.
Okay, in the
So
central
Santa
area.
Barbara is actually only like an hour and a half from HMI and Tarzana,
Los Angeles
California,
area.
a couple
Okay.
hours from LA.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. All
We're
right.
up to you.
Bianca, thank you so much for being on my show today. I learned a lot. I'm an advanced EFT practitioner, and I learned some stuff that I forgot all about. So no, that's great. I have to go back and read my books now. Get me going.
Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me share about the whole
You bet.
Ho'oponopono.
Go ahead and
Bye.
stay on the line for just a minute, okay? I'm
Okay.
gonna go ahead and close this out. That's this week's show, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. I want you to contact me if you have any questions about anything. You can also text me, call me, email me, use a carrier pigeon. I'm in Visalia. But until next week, which my guest, who will be Dr. Dale Hudson, and this is a super treat because I'm going to get to hear more detail on his. He's an expert on attachment theory and has an online class for him and that he's teaching and has taught. And that's on this content. And it's really, the nerd in me can't wait for this. I want everybody to have a great weekend. And until next week, go do good work and help someone. Okay? Take care. And and don't forget, Patriot Day, Saturday, and 20 years since 9/11, everybody. Let's take a moment and remember, and not let that happen again. Take care. See you next week, or you'll see me.